Now, listening in on that conversation, hopefully, was our political analyst, Dr. Dale T McKinley, who joins us right now. Doctor, thank you so much for the time. Hopefully you can hear me. And I don't know how much of that conversation you got a hold of as well then. And I really just wondered whether that was just the ANC having to go back to basics, because it seems like there are many portions of this country, many parts of this country that they've really forgotten about and now need to really go back and do some groundwork.
Yeah, listen, I think it's actually quite tactically smart of them to host it in Cape Town, and particularly, obviously, in Khayelitsha in this case, even though there has been some debate about whether they failed to get the bigger venues in Cape Town. The point is that the ANC that is the worst performing province for the ANC outside of KZN, at least in the last elections. And the DA, which is its GNU partner, it provides them also an opportunity to go after the DA a bit, to score some political points, to do so in a fairly friendly political environment. And also, I think in some ways, it's probably going to benefit them to hold it at a smaller venue like the Mandela Park Stadium, because if you looked at the MK rally just recently at Kings Park, it was only half full. And that doesn't ever look good when you spend lots and lots of money and you can't fill a stadium. So in some ways, while it might not be the best scenario for them, I think it's tactically probably a fairly good move. And yes, it will give them an opportunity to hopefully speak to some of the things that they failed to do in the many years, which is speak to that poor working class constituency that has been suffering for so long.
Is there a message that they can give, however, that would change the mindset, change the view, change how people view the ANC at present, not because of the liberation that they gave to the country, but because of the past 30 years since, that things for certain people haven't necessarily gotten better?
Yeah, it's a hard sell, to defend a 30-year record where inequality has increased, and particularly, basic service provision has gotten worse, all the different components of our power and water crises and housing and all the rest of it, and jobs as well, obviously. So it's going to be a difficult sell, but I think what the GNU it provides for the ANC is an opportunity to sort of reset the political, how should we say, frame, and to basically try to persuade their constituents that, the kind of inclusive kind of politics that they're trying to build in the GNU is going to deliver over time the kinds of things that they haven't been able to do. And also this message of Ramaphosa, even if it might be weak, that they're trying to clean up the ANC itself. They're trying to get rid of the bad apples. I mean, obviously MK and ex-President Zuma have gone, and they'll probably make some political hay out of that as well. But I think the message, the ANC is going to find it difficult to provide a brand new message. I think what they're going to have to do is eat a bit of humble pie, basically apologize to people for the mistakes they've made, to say, we're going to try to do better, and we're going to do this in a way that is less, how should we say, confrontational and more inclusive. That's a hard sell, but I think it's the only journey that they can really, the path that they can travel right now.
I said, suppose they help themselves if they're going to speak about a smaller venue, some self-funding that seems to be coming in play as well, changing the tone and the messaging. All of that is going to have to play a part and be very crucial, actually, if they're going to send the right message to everyone. Can they eventually retake the Western Cape? It's a long-term statement that I even asked the minister there, but is that even possible? Is that something that could even happen, you think, in the next couple of years?
I don't think it will happen at the next local government elections, no. Or in the next provincial, I don't think in the next 5 years now, in the next provincial elections. But it's possible in the future. I mean, anything, as we can see in our political realm, and as we look at other countries, parties that did very badly in one election make a huge comeback or otherwise. It all depends on whether the ANC is able to basically convince the people in the Western Cape, in this case, that they've got more to offer than the DA. And obviously Helen Zille doesn't think so in the way that she responded to President Ramaphosa's comments the other day, but that's politics. And that's the bottom line, is that people in the Western Cape will only shift political loyalties if they think there's something better on the other side. And what they're going to be looking at is ANC governance in other provinces. So this is going to be crucial. the next local government elections, the next 3 or 4 years, if the ANC doesn't do the basics, as you mentioned, going back to the basics, getting the things right, delivering the things that people need, then there's no chance that they're going to reclaim the Western Cape. And in fact, there's every chance that they'll be losing more than the Western Cape. They could lose other provinces as well. But they have an opportunity. Let's look at the by-elections that have taken place since the national elections just in the last 6 months. The ANC hasn't done too badly.
Yeah.
And the big start of MK has sort of fizzled out a bit. So politics can be a very strange animal. Depends on the timing and the messaging and also the governance doing at the same time.
We're also talking about a beast, though, that's previously been able to raise quite a few funds in order to undertake everything that it's needed to. How important is funding going to be from here on in? I mean, it feels as though now, more than ever, they're going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw their fundraising activities. I mean, they've been trying to get money from business. Business is a bit reticent, obviously, now, given the uncertainties and the loss of support for the ANC. You know, times are tough for a lot of people, including some of the sort of medium scale businesses that I think the ANC counted on in the past, as opposed to the big corporates. So in some ways, they're going to have to find new and inventive ways to do that, given our party funding situation, given the fact that, in general, if you look at the global sort of situation with regards to party funding, it's very wealthy individuals and wealthy political committees that oftentimes fund parties. Here, the ANC, unless Cyril Ramaphosa decides to empty his own bank account to fund his own party, I think they're going to continue to have challenges to do so, as are most other parties. So they're not alone in that fundraising challenges. But I think the ANC is coming to realize that the heady days of the 90s and 2000s, when the money was just flowing through the coffers because they were able to deliver a lot of benefits for those businessmen, that's become a lot harder now. So they're going to have to become creative.
Yeah, just one wonders how much of maybe President Cyril Ramaphosa or somebody else's own pockets are being emptied out in trying to keep the ANC not necessarily just afloat, but really pushing forward.